Sharkie Gamer here. So today we're going to take a look at the Western Heroes Rifle Bundle. So this is for Nintendo Wii, and it comes with both the Western Heroes game as well as a rifle shell that can take both your Wiimote and nunchuck. So firstly, let's take a look at the box. Now straight off the bat, you can tell this box has an obvious Western theme to it. It's kind of got a cool kind of texture going around the box. You can see the title up top here, Western Heroes, and you also get a good glimpse there of the actual rifle that is included. Also in this display one, you can see the actual handle there, the stock of the rifle, and the trigger mechanism just there. On the side, you can see a glimpse of the actual game that's included, the Western Heroes game. Moving to the rest of the box, it continues with that kind of Western theme. You got the kind of cool kind of outline there, the border of the box. Same with the top, it's got a handle there. Pretty cool looking textures all around. On the side of the box here, you get a bit of a close-up of the actual trigger mechanism there, and also where the nunchuck actually connects to the rifle. And it just says here, perfect position for the nunchuck control stick. And all the other things here are just in different languages. Turn it over onto the other side, again it gives you a close-up of the different mechanisms. So you've got the trigger there, and the reload lever. So realistic trigger, lever, reload. Turning it onto the back, it sort of goes more into detail of the actual game that's included. So you get a lot of different kind of screenshots. Again, it's continuing with that kind of Western theme on the actual box. So you can see some screenshots there. And there is a little section here in English, the rest is all in different languages. And the section just says, a true interactive movie for the whole family. Play up to 4 players at the same time on the same screen. Be the fastest gun in the West with your detailed replica Western style rifle. Game and instruction in full English. Trigger activates the B button on your Wii remote controller for improved compatibility with other games. And just down here it shows you another picture of the actual rifle again. And of course you've got the Big Ben logo just down the bottom. That is the back of the box just there. So now let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at the contents. Okay, so first up, you've got the game here, Western Heroes for Wii. That's the cover. That's the back cover again. Shows you some more kind of screenshots, very similar to what was on the back of the box. So it's just a standard kind of Wii shooter that you can use your nunchuck and Wiimote there, and it's multiple players, so it can be like more of like a party game if you wanted to. That's the inside. It comes with a standard manual that goes through the controls and the menus and everything. It's pretty simplistic controls. It's pretty much just shoot and reload is essentially it. That's the game you get. You get some paperwork here. This paperwork just basically shows you how to assemble in the actual rifle, and also to install the nunchuck and Wiimote. Nothing really too complicated. A very basic guide. And then we go into the rifle. So I'll just pull these two pieces out. Okay, so it comes into 2 sections here. So this is the front section. It's the connection on the end of it. So it's the same sort of small connection that's inside here. This is the back part of it. You can see there's space for the nunchuck there. And how you actually assemble this, you basically take that and you line it up to this way. I don't know if you can even see that in there. It lines up only one way. You can only actually connect it one way. You connect it this way, you line it up, and then you twist, and that locks into place. And then you use this little trigger here to push it, and that will actually firmly lock into place. So that's not gonna fall off. So it's actually pretty strong. So the full assembled rifle looks like that. So that's what it looks like. Top of it. Now, looking at the actual mechanisms themselves, just move this out the way. First up in the front here, this little thing slides off. Now you notice there's a connection there for the Wiimote to plug into, and if you pull the trigger on the end here, that little bit here will actually trigger. I don't know if you can even see that. There we go. And that of course will press the B button on the Wiimote. Now installing the Wiimote is pretty simple. So you take your standard Wiimote. If you have a wrist strap on it, you can thread it through that hole just down there. So thread that through the hole, it's out the way. You line those connections up like that. You clip it there and push it down, and it clips in place. Now if I pull that trigger, it'll actually be pulling that B button down the bottom here. Alright. And then once you've got that installed just like that, you take this, you slide it over, and you clip it into place. Like that. Now this button here basically is what you use to sort of release that Wiimote connection just there. That little connection is like on a swivel, and this helps lock it into place so the Wiimote doesn't actually pop out. So that's just sort of like a locking mechanism, you could call it. And of course this cover that goes over the Wiimote is just like an extra kind of locking mechanism for it. So it keeps it secure in there. And you can still get all the buttons, so you can still get the A button, for instance, the home button, plus and minus, and you can still see the little lights just there. So it still allows you to go get all the essentials, and of course that trigger will be hitting that B button inside there. Now moving on to this part of it, there's a two-part thing to actually putting in the nunchuck. First up, when you actually put it into there, you actually got to connect it to the Wiimote. And how you do that is the way this is designed. It's actually got a pre-cabled connection that goes throughout the gun. So this cable here is what allows you to connect the nunchuck to the actual Wiimote in there without actually having to plug it directly into your original Wiimote. So all you have to do is take your nunchuck like this. First you've got to thread the cable through the handle just here. So you kind of just thread it through there. There is a hole in there, if you can see that. And that should just go right through. You pull that out. And of course you connect it into this. Again, it can only connect one way. Plug it into that. Now I find it easier to leave this out for a couple of moments and pull some of the cable through here, so you have less cable. You take your nunchuck, and of course you just clip it into place. Now before I clip that into place, I'll just show you that mechanism side there. You can see there's two sections. If you press this button, that bottom one moves, which will basically hit the Z button just here. If you pull this reload trigger, that's what it looks like. So if you do that, the top one will move, which of course will hit this top button, the C button. Alright, so both those buttons will be able to access on those. So once you align this into place, I'm just going to pull some more of the cable through. And it will clip into place, and you'll notice that this thing here is a little clip, little orange one. This is actually allows that to lock into place, so this is not going to come out accidentally or anything like that. So this is basically just like a locking mechanism, and when you want to pull that out, you just got to press that and pull it out to actually get it out. Otherwise that just locks it into place. But now with that installed, you can actually sort out this cable a little bit neater, and what I find is just to try and sort of get the major large part in first, and then you kind of just roll the cable up a little bit, and it should all fit into there. That's sort of what it looks like, and once it's all in there, you can just close this up and clip it shut. That way it hides all the cable away, and that is the actual Wiimote and nunchuck fully installed into the rifle. So that's fully installed, Wiimote in front, nunchuck at the back, and of course because you've plugged it in there, the nunchuck is now connected to the Wiimote using the mechanism that goes through the actual gun itself. So really easy to install. And now, of course, when you're playing the game, for instance, if you're playing it with Western Heroes, it's really simple to use. The actual trigger here will be pressing the B button on the Wiimote, so that's when you're shooting. So you're just kind of aiming it as normal and pressing that trigger to shoot. Now you can also, with this particular game, if you press the C button on the nunchuck, it will also shoot. So this button here will trigger the C button. So that can also basically be used to trigger to shoot. With reloading, you can either use this reload mechanism, which basically just like this, and that is pressing the Z button on the nunchuck itself, or you can use the A button over here. So you can be holding it sort of like this, pressing that to reload, or using this to reload. Shooting, or pressing this to shoot. So whatever kind of is easier for you. And of course I think they've done that as well in case you play a different type of shooting game and the controls are slightly different. That way, of course, you can still access these things, or access the C button, access the stick in case you need those functions. It just depends on which game you're using, because this is compatible with all different types of Wii shooter games, not just Western Heroes. So you can use it with quite a few different games. And it's a pretty cool kind of designed rifle. I really like this reload lever here. It's pretty cool. It's basically designed off like a Winchester rifle, because Winchesters usually have this type of reload type mechanism just down here, this lever, and it's pretty cool because it makes it feel like a Winchester rifle. And of course you can reach everything really easily if you need to. So all the buttons you can reach really nicely. So overall, it's a very nicely designed rifle shell. A little bit better than designed than some Wii shells you can get, because some of the ones you get are like really cheap and aren't the best quality at all. So this one is actually really nice quality for a change. Not always do you get such nice quality Wii rifle shells. So it's really nice. Now, this does come in this yellow and kind of orange color. I have seen the white version, which I think came out after the yellow version. So the common versions of this are this yellow version and of course the white version. Now there is also another version which is much more harder to find, and it's actually more, I don't even know what you'll call it, it's more like a dark brown and sort of a metal color. It's more like realistically colored, so like a wood look you could call it. It's much more harder to find, you don't see it that much often, and it's usually, you know, different countries, like I'm not even sure exactly which countries it wasn't exclusive, but only certain countries have that version. It's much harder to find though. I think it's because it looks too realistic, and that's why they used either the white version or this brightly colored yellow and orange version, because these versions are much more, you can instantly see they look like a toy, and while the realistic version looks a bit too realistic, even though you're installing your nunchuck and Wiimote into it. So that version is kind of harder to find. If I ever find it myself and add it to my collection, I will do another video of that particular one, because I think it looks pretty cool. But at the moment I got this version because this was a version I could easily get my hands on. And this set is usually pretty cheap. I mean, like, when this came out, I think it was on special at my local game shop here, and it was like, it was about $30, 30 Australian dollars, so it was really cheap. And I've seen them even cheaper. I've seen them gone down to, like, especially on eBay, like you can get them for like $20 now, 15-20 bucks with the game and everything. So they really are cheap, and it is a good quality rifle. It looks pretty cool, it works really well, and like I said, it doesn't feel as cheap as some of the other Wii shells that you do see around. This feels really nice, and that reload mechanism is pretty cool. So yeah, if you like playing shooting games on the Wii, and you don't really like a particularly cheap rifle shell, then maybe this type of rifle shell might be for you. And of course, if you buy this, of course, you get the Western Heroes game included in the bundle, so you get another shooting game included. And of course, you can use this with any shooting game that you have. The controls may be slightly different depending which game you play, so you may have to check that out before you play, but it should be mostly very similar to each other. But anyway guys, so that's the Western Heroes bundle that comes with the Western Heroes game, as well as this Winchester rifle shell. So a shell made look like a Winchester rifle at least. Pretty cool shell, pretty cool set, and it's really cheap for the quality you're getting. Very nice quality rifle overall, and it looks pretty cool as well. The yellow and orange color is a little bit bright and a little bit obnoxious, but yeah, like I said, that realistic brown version is kind of hard to get. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I am Sharkie Gamer. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll have heaps more gaming control and accessory videos up very shortly. If you like this video, hit that like button. It really helps out a lot, guys. And as always, feel free to leave a comment down below if you want to, and share the video, as that helps spread my video around. Anyway guys, thanks again for watching.